As the Cowboys look to get right on the road in Manhattan, the Cowgirls look to get even with Texas at home. We got to shout out a couple more Cowboys that have now received invitations to prolong their professional football career. And who'd have thunk on this show there would be a day that we said, good on you, UCF. Texas sucks, horns down, go Pokes, and I guess charge on.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things Cowboy and Cowgirl. My name is Cody Stovall. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by to make this your first listen. We're available on all of your podcasting platforms, visually as well on YouTube. Find me personally on Twitter at AllDayOState. Today, we are partially brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment matter more with FanDuel. Right now, our new customers get 150 bones back in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started today. So those of you who were unable to witness the beauty that was the UCF Texas basketball game, it's not so much about the game in and of itself. It's the fact that Texas cries foul. Not only that, Texas, of all places, tries to cry lack of classiness. That is great. That is one of the best things I've heard thus far in this early 2024 season. Now, if we were going to give a Charmin Soft award, it would go to the Texas coach right now. Coach Terry is running around acting like a little baby, but this isn't completely foreign. Texas fans are phenomenal at crying and whining. Not quite as good as the OU fans that try to prop up the fact that they never lose, right? I don't know if you knew this or not, but it is physically impossible for OU to ever lose a game. The only time they get an L on the scoreboard, it's always because of the refs. So if you didn't know that, now you're a little bit more informed. If you have OU friends, you probably did know that. But Texas propping up this fallacy that they're mistreated is ridiculous. Why is Texas so daggone soft that this is offensive? Now, I know in today's age, a lot of people try to find a million things to be offended about, but with all of those things out there and accessible to everybody, why does this hurt so bad? And you know this, the horns down, they're going to cry and whine about it in the SEC too. So my question, I guess, is if you know Texas fans, it's okay. They need help too. Ask them. Ask them why Texas pretends that they're always the victim. Again, not necessarily as much as OU, but they're pretty daggone close. What they exceed OU at is the bumping of the gums. Texas fans talk a lot. Now, from a football perspective, they finally, after a decade plus of yelling, I'm back till the cows come home, they had a very, very good season. They had a very, very good team, and they had a very, very good Big 12 title game. Hats off when credit is due. But I cannot now wait to play Coach Terry and the Texas Shorthorns. I also can't wait for Jacie Hoyt and the Cowgirls to exact a little bit of revenge for everybody in the Big 12. When I say that, I mean that there's not anybody in the conference, including OU fans, well, some of them, that don't loathe a Texas loss. Guys, the basketball season, it's halfway gone, yeah, but the latter half of the season provides a lot of opportunities. Unfortunately, we don't get the dude Shorthorns until the third to last game of the season. It's like March 2nd, I believe. So Jacie Hoyt and the Cowgirls are going to have to handle some business for us, just like UCF men's basketball team took care of business. I still cannot believe that Texas runs around pretending that, they're hurt. They're so hurt and they're so bothered by one simple hand gesture. They act like it's a singular finger going the other way. Now, we all know that's what it means to them, and maybe that's what they're hussing and fussing about. But again, if you have a Texas friend, they're probably in need, of course, of some TLC, some guidance in life. And maybe this is a good opportunity that us former Big 12 brethren can help out our Texas buddies. Stop crying and whining 24/7. You're not a victim. The world doesn't revolve around making Texas fans happy, nor should it. And it also is absolutely ridiculous that the horns down is even a penalty flag. The fact that they cried and whined so much to that level to turn a gesture into a negative experience is not only laughable, but it's worth laughing in their face at. So there is no amount of horns down that is too much. There's no amount of horns down that's too little either. The more that they keep doing the thing that they're so good at, which is crying and whining, the more opportunities we have to rub their faces in it as much as possible. So, the Lady Shorthorns hopefully can get some of this ta-da horns down treatment this Saturday. I, for one, cannot wait. Matter of fact, we're also going to be doing a live Twitter space in between the KState game and the Texas game. The Texas basketball game is 2 p.m. and the men's game is at 6. So we're going to have a gap in there where we can do a live Twitter show to discuss the women's basketball game against Texas. Before we jump into the Cowboys that we got to recognize and talk about some Cowboys that aren't getting invites for whatever reason, I have to remind you that you can't be the MVP of anything if your vehicle cannot get to the dance. So make sure eBay Motors is your first stop. With the right passion, drive, and patience, you too can bring home the winning trophies by keeping your ride or die vehicle alive. eBay Motors has everything you're going to need, from superchargers, roof racks, LED lighting kits, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered in all directions. With over 122 million parts for you to choose from, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, the part is guaranteed to fit your rig every time or your money back. So with the eBay Motors, we want you to be burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need, all the prices you want, it is easy to turn your rig into the MVP, bring home that W. Keep your ride or die rig alive today at ebaymotors.com. Again, go to ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay customers only get the guaranteed fit. All right. So whenever you think about some of the NFL potential Cowboys from the transfer department, we recently got to experience Anthony Goodlow's participation in a bowl game. And these bowl games are obviously paramount to getting more opportunities in front of some NFL scouts, execs, so on and so forth. So even if you don't get drafted, it's games like these that allow your unsigned free agent profile to expand. Pro day, combines, all of that, they definitely have a hand in the equation as well. But if you're not getting these opportunities, it's really hard for an agent or anybody else to help prop up your capabilities. So it is wonderful news to find out that Josiah Johnson, the 6'5", 245-pound tight end transfer from UMass, is getting an opportunity alongside Elijah Collins. They will be playing at 11 a.m. this Saturday in the Trillion Tropical Bowl. The beauty is, obviously, that Elijah can show off his 6 foot, 220-pound frame. Elijah can show off his capabilities, and I think this is wonderful for him because people tend to forget that the spring, the fall, the first couple games of the season, it was Elijah Collins that was turning the most heads. And I do think that if Elijah Collins would have been able to stay healthy, we would have had more of a 1-2 combo. It's not a knock on Jaden Nixon. Jaden Nixon is just more of a zone scheme kind of guy. And since we went away from that, this system was going to favor somebody like an Ollie Gordon, somebody like an Elijah Collins. So this is perfect for him because we, as Oklahoma State fans, we didn't get to see everything that he could provide. Now, when you go back and look at it, what he did at Michigan State, which is what I'm sure they did, you can see that the dude's got some skills. He's got some abilities. He deserves an opportunity. So I'm so glad that he's getting it. And Josiah Johnson. Guys, we, in my opinion, didn't utilize Josiah Johnson enough. Now, there's going to be plenty of talks about him getting opportunities in the NFL. There's going to be plenty of chances for him to continue to develop in the NFL because, remember, he's still pretty new to the tight end position. All those things are very accurate, very true. But I think that he'll actually surprise some people because of his lack of opportunities this season. I'm not saying we didn't use him. We did use him. And we were able to use him at times pretty daggone effectively. But could we have used him more? Yes. All you got to do is pop on the film, and there's countless numbers of times that Josiah Johnson was open. He just may not have been part of the reads that Bowman or one of the other quarterbacks was looking for initially. We're going to have some more potential opportunities. Hopefully, Anthony Goodlow on top of the Hula Bowl will get some more as well. But this leads into the question of why are we leaving out the guy who single-handedly helped us keep our season afloat? And when I say we, like, I'm not talking on behalf of anybody. I'm talking to the committees that do the invitations. Now, I know when you research the Shrine Bowl, East-West Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl, all that fun jazz, before the season starts, they already designate at least 40 people that they're going to try to watch throughout the course of the season. So they identify people who are going to be in the Senior Bowl type stuff very early on, way before the season started. Therefore, they already had a list of people put together before Leon Johnson III decided he was even going to come to Oklahoma State. So he's not going to be on that list. And then there's another list that's done pretty early on. Well, he didn't really get to play, so he's not going to be on that list either. Thankfully, there's another list of 40 or so that they review at the end of the season. They're still in that reviewing process. But if Josiah Johnson is good enough to get invites, which he is, obviously, because he has gotten one, what are we doing here with Leon Johnson III? Now, my comp has always been Marcel Aitman. And right now, Leon's training in LA. He has the same agency and the same exact representation and agent as Devontae Adams. So I have no doubt that they're spinning the right wheels. They're doing the right things. We should be getting some information statistically a little bit later on. And when that happens, I will be able to present to you all of the reasons why he definitely needs to be invited to the Shrine Bowl, the Senior Bowl, the whatever bowl. It can't just be on pro days. I mean, it can be. And if it is, he's going to be able to do enough. But I'm telling you right here, right now, if you go look at Tay Martin and Marcel Aitman, which are very comparable receivers to Leon Johnson III, When you see what they were able to do in their combine and or pro days compared to what Leon Johnson III does, there's a difference. I'm just going to put it out there. There is a difference when it comes to wingspan, hand size, 40 times, shuffle, 10 split, cone drills. There's some things that Leon Johnson was able to do in baseball that have a direct correlation. One of those being the 10 split. A baseball player's 10 split is usually considerably better than a football player's, just because of the types of range of motion and the way you have to take off in the base path to steal bases and all that fun jazz. So there's a lot of things that Leon Johnson does right now that is already above what some of our big-time dudes have done in the combines at the pro days. So I cannot wait for those numbers to continue to matriculate in. But we all know how good Leon Johnson III is. And another reason that I'm very intrigued to see how this goes, not that the NFL gives 13 craps, and nor necessarily should they. But if Leon Johnson III doesn't get any opportunities, which I find that unlikely, but although he had his mind made up before he ever even got to Stillwater, Oklahoma, that he was fine with graduating and being a math teacher, not only fine, that's what he wants to do. Maybe it wouldn't hurt if he got a real opportunity. Maybe it wouldn't hurt if you looked at what he was able to provide for Oklahoma State. Like 530-something yards. And we all know he really only played, 6, 7 games? So the reason this is somewhat interesting to me is if I'm somebody within Oklahoma State, I am pushing and pushing and pushing Leon Johnson harder than everybody else, honestly, because he's the only dude that had to give up a full season, a full year of Body by Glass, a full year of the playbook, Coach Dunn, the whole 9 yards. He gave all that up for the betterment of the team. He gave all that up for what was best for Oklahoma State. He shot himself in the foot. He potentially screwed his professional future just to be a good dude and help the team. So if nothing comes of it, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know that I'd recommend the next dude in line to do the same thing. I mean, it's a darn if you do, darn if you don't, because you do know if somebody says, no, I don't want to play, I need to keep my red shirt so I can have a full season, there's going to be resentment. Some of those coaches, some of those players will feel some sort of way. But if this turns out positively for Leon Johnson III because of his talent level, and we ride him and back him to every NFL connection that we have, then the next time we tell somebody, hey, you have the choice to make. We're going to let you make it. You've basically not played half the year. So the first 2 cuts of getting into the Shrine Bowl and Senior Bowl, you've already missed those. But if you do back the brothers on the team, instead of prepare yourself for next season, we will help you more than you can physically possibly imagine. I don't know that Oklahoma State will do that. I don't know that they don't already do that. But what I do know is if Leon Johnson III has this successful of a season in only a few games and he gets nothing out of it, I know he is fine and happy being a teacher. That was his dream. That was his goal. But if you're good enough to do some stuff, dude, go do some stuff. And everybody out there that is looking for somebody to go get it, he's your guy. If you're looking for somebody that has deceptive speed, he's your guy. If you're looking for somebody who still hasn't completely filled out yet, he's your guy. He's got the speed. He's got the size. He's got the talent. He's got the reach. He's got the hand size. He's got the 40 time. He's got the miles per hour. He's got the 10 split. I'm telling you. Leon Johnson III is a next level professional guy, whether it be NFL, CFL, something to that effect. I just want to make sure that he gets the opportunity. Josiah Johnson deserves, and he's getting an opportunity. Elijah Collins deserves and is getting an opportunity. Leon Johnson III might deserve and might have earned more opportunities than almost anybody. So I really hope that this doesn't go the other way. I really hope that this is positive. I really hope that the next person who's looking at potentially giving up the rest of their career understands that Leon Johnson is a good reason why, if you put it all out there for us, we'll put it all out there for you. Again, I don't know to what degree anybody from Oklahoma State can even help push, but I know there's some degree. I do know that phone calls do happen. I do know that our coaches have relationships with some of these scouts. So I also hope that they're getting as much film as possible and the statistics to go alongside with the film and the measurables, because it can't just be about the pro day. I mean, again, it can. I don't want it to be. You shouldn't want it to be. We've got Cowboys right here, right now, that are good enough to be in the league. It would be a daggone crying shame if one of them never even really got the opportunities. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. Do you think it was a good move by Leon? Do you think it was a smart move? Do you think this will have some negative repercussions? Or do you think that it's part of the plan? It'll all work out like it's supposed to, and he will be the gem that is found in the pile. Speaking of gems, before we skedaddle on out of here with the last segment, I have to remind you that today's hiring is pretty wild, and LinkedIn Jobs is pretty helpful to stemming that tide for you. So make sure that you get hooked up with LinkedIn today. You know that there's a reason why small businesses consider them number one versus leading competitors. 86% of small businesses, in fact, get a qualified candidate in the first 24 hours. You know, it's not just another job board, right? They have a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals that make it super easy for you to hire. LinkedIn knows that small businesses have way too much stuff on their plates nowadays. They might not have the same time and resources to hire. That's why LinkedIn is intuitive, quick, and easy for you. Post your job for free today at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Again, that is linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Go there now to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. What is applicable for you is to hammer the over. What's applicable for you is to go check out FanDuel. Not only check it out, download it, get hooked up, get booked up, because right now, for new customers, get 150 bones back in bonus bets guaranteed when you place any $5 bet. Again, $150 back in bonus bets, win or lose. The app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. There's so many different ways you can bet, whether it be same-game parlays, over, under, player props, who's going to score the next touchdown, who's going to win the Super Bowl division titles, Heisman's, and more. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make your next bet your best bet with FanDuel.com/lockedon. Go to FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. All right. So the Cowboys look to get right in Manhattan. We'll see what's happening in Manhattan and Kansas. Kansas State's hot. We're not. Kansas State is very difficult on any visiting opponent. Not quite the Fog, but it's improved steadily over the years, especially since Tang has been doing his thing. since Tang's been doing the thing. Every win in the men's department from here on out is a big one. Every win from here on out in the men's department is an opportunity for Mike Boynton to try to remain the head man in Stillwater, Oklahoma. With a young roster, you never know what you're going to get. A lot of the losses we've had are very, very close. But then we also have got our head kicked in a couple times as well. We don't know what we're going to get. I do hope that we get a much more inspired basketball team than we got against KU the other day on our home freaking floor. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because Jacie Hoyt and the Cowgirls, they've got our backs. As you just witnessed last night, they destroyed BYU. The Lady Cougs were out pretty early on. And you know what? The best part to me was I had the radio call on too, right? And the game's an absolute blowout. Halfway through the fourth quarter, we're subbing in people that need some opportunities on the court. And Jacie Hoyt is still screaming at the top of her lungs. I could hear her in the radio call. I could hear what she was yelling at to the players as they're running down the court. I love that. Is that not what is partially helping us get behind this Jacie Hoyt and the Cowgirls takeover of Gallagher-Iba Arena? It's because of stuff like that. Quincy Noble has a career day. It's great for the senior to get that because we've got the other end of the spectrum, which is one of the best freshmen in America. And then Hannah Gusters is certified her. She is her. And Jacie Hoyt is the future queen of Gallagher-Iba Arena. When I say future, that's because we have to do our part. As Cowboy and Cowgirl fans, if Jacie Hoyt gets the experience of 13,000 plus, it'll change everything. It always does. We've heard so many stories about people who have come to Gallagher-Iba on recruiting trips, and when it's packed out crazy and loud, it's like nothing else. And we gained several commitments just from that. Now, Mike Boynton has done a good job landing commitments without that. But can we just imagine what it would be like if Jacie Hoyt had that experience and how she could then turn it into something masterful, something absolutely masterful for the Cowgirls moving forward? I can feel it. So we all need to get behind Jacie Hoyt and the Cowgirls and fill up Gallagher-Iba Arena, whether it be for Texas or Bedlam or for every other game the rest of the year. I really, really hope that we find a way to get this thing taken care of because BYU look great and we all love beating Texas. It is so much fun. It feels so good. UCF, we love you. We appreciate you. Now it's our turn, Jacie Hoyt and the Cowgirls, to have some get right. All right, y'all. So we're going to have for this one right here. You know I love you. As always, God bless. Go Pokes. And thank you for tuning in to make this your first listen here on Locked On Oklahoma State. You could be anywhere. So happy you choose to be here. Go like it if you like the daggone thing. Leave a comment, share, subscribe. You know the drill. All right, y'all. Later, taters.